Hi, everybody. I am Holly Celiano, and I have my guest back on, Mr. X. And Mr. X is you love him or you hate him. Love some of you hate him and some of you love him. But one thing I like about Mr. X is he just tells you the way it is, and there's no bars held. He just says what he feels, what a lot of people feel, but he's willing to speak it. So welcome, Mr. X.
Well, thanks, Holly.
You are welcome. So I know you have a bunch of stuff that you want to talk about. So I will turn it over to you and you can go into what it is you want to talk about today.
Okay, let's get started. Okay, to those of you who are looking for RV info, I am not an RV guru. You can leave now if you'd like. Those of you who are word sensitive, you can leave now. I'm not talking to you anyway. I'm talking to and about the shit show. There are two movies going on right now. We're just trying to figure out which movie it is. You can go listen to an unedited version on Rumble because I got a feeling that this thing's going to be edited out just like the last one was. So go to Rumble. I'm going to focus my attention because I see all the attention now is on the Candace Owens and Erica Kirk drama playing out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I really don't know why Candace Owens would agree to meet with her privately when she was already warned that she needed to upgrade her security. Because if you look at Erica Kirk, she's got some demonic facial expression, especially in her eyes, because that whole thing with Kirk played out like an assassination of JFK in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
It was the craziest thing. It's the modern day JFK assassination. They needed a lot of people to witness it, and they did. There's a lot of things. I've seen all the footage, a lot of things about that look like a false flag, and it's fake. Why would you disrupt a crime scene like that, pour concrete over the top of it? I mean, it's just crazy.
So do you think he's still alive?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is Kash Patel came out later and was part of a press conference or something and says, "We'll see you, brother. We got the watch now. We'll see you in Valhalla." A lot of people didn't know what he meant by that. Valhalla is a WITSEC site. If people don't know what WITSEC is, that's an abbreviation for Witness Protection Site. And, what have we been waiting for almost 10 years? 900 people to walk out of WITSEC that we thought were dead, that weren't dead, and they're alive. So that's part of it. So I think people are missing something about Erica Kirk. Nobody's asking the question, what was her father connected to? Was her father connected to Mossad, CIA? Is he part of the Illuminati? Q said, follow the wives. Now, why would Q say that? You got one hint in a Led Zeppelin song says soul of a woman was created below. Why would Q call out the wives? If you look at this thing over the past 10 years, a lot of the wives were bad. They're behind a lot of corruption. Go look at the 9/11 stuff that Abel Danger put out. It's called Sisters of Something, where it exposes a lot of the evil women who were part of that false flag called 9/11 that we all lived through. Mm. So people people are giving her too much credit. I've asked several people who I know are staunch church going people, and I said, "Well, what do you think about the Kirk situation? Is he alive or dead?" And they're full emphatically saying, "Oh, he's dead. He's dead. We got to support her now." And it just blows my mind. I don't think you guys realize that she's not who you think she is. She ran a child trafficking thing over in another country.
I just read
She's
that in Romania.
yeah, was it Romania?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. People are still to this day getting sucked up into all the fake news out there, and whatever they say, they believe. You got to dig people to find out the truth about all this stuff. That's a false flag. She's not who you think she is.
So
And why
is Trump then promoting her?
well, see, this goes back to what you and I talked about a couple of years ago. He's into this keep your enemies close, or keep your friends close and your enemies closer crap.
Mm-hmm.
I, I that's really hard for me to believe, because I don't want my enemies close to me, because they could take me out if I look the other way.
Right.
So he puts people in the limelight, and we're supposed to believe that later he shows people what they're really like. I don't know. That could be part of this deal. All I know that she was in his last beauty pageants. She was one of the gals who was part of that, and that's a connection to Trump. I don't know. And the other things is JD Vance 2.0 deal. What's his deal with her? We just don't know, and that's why, folks, I call it a shit show. You just can't pin anything down in this shit show. You have to dig and dig and dig and come to an understanding with yourself what you think it is, because they're not telling us. You got white hats pulling crap in this shit show. You got black hats still doing it. It's just running wild. It has to end.
Well, we
And
didn't think we'd still be here, and we're coming up to the end of 2025, and it's still ongoing. I mean, it's crazy.
Well, I know. That's where Q got it wrong. When it started out, Q was awesome. They were doing that. They were doing squirrel shit. They were taking pictures right next to the car that had Feinstein and her Chinese spy as the driver going down the freeway. They were taking pictures of all those corrupt bar clowns walking throughout the city that were attacking Trump back in the day. I mean, Q was great, but they led us to believe it was only going to last the first term,
Yeah.
through the first 4 years. And then all of a sudden something happened where it got thrown into neutral, and now that's why we're here now.
Yeah.
So
Yep. And I don't know about you, but every time we think we're close, it just seems like it just keeps getting prolonged.
yeah, I know. That's why I've called the shit show to end. It has to end. And as far as I'm concerned, the only way it's going to end is if we go EBS, 10 days of darkness, do a lockdown, lock this bitch up, keep everybody home so they can watch all these documentaries back to back to back. We were told for years it's going to be 3 documentaries, 8 hours long, and they're going to loop it. So you can, if you miss one, you can look at it the following day. So people have an understanding what's really gone on.
So you're
And
dialed
those,
in to the White Hats, and you're very dialed into the movement. What do they say? What are you hearing from your people on when the EBS is coming out and when this is going to end?
Well, that's the thing. Nobody's talking about the EBS and when it's supposed to drop, but they all know it's coming. They all say it's coming. But that's really not good enough for me. I mean, someone has got to have a plan together, because you cannot rely on some stupid quantum computer to tell whoever's going to flip the switch to flip the switch. I mean, come on. A computer's not human. I mean, you can go all around this country and see all the problems that are happening right now. We need a forced wake up. And those people who are out there saying we don't need to go through that, well, they're just picked off with a Bach move at first base. I'm sorry. They're wrong. It's going to take a forced wake up. Because Q itself did not wake up the entire world. A lot of people mock Q. They, you know, who knows? When it went from 4chan to 8chan, something happened. I think it got hacked. And there's some individuals who I think are part of that hack. But Q changed when they went from 4chan to 8chan. But this 10 days EBS is very much needed, because I think they're going to use that to kick off the RV and do a full disclosure, a public disclosure by who I don't know about NESRA rollout. And let me bring that up again, because I still see it all over the interweb. It's called NESRA, folks, not NESARA. NESARA is the George Bush Sr. fake NESRA. So don't call it NESARA. It's NESRA. That's the evil one.
Okay.
So
I've also been told that has morphed and changed since it was signed into law back by Bill Clinton. It has changed since then and been reworked and redone. Have you heard that?
I've heard little tidbits about that. I don't know. I'm not in that circle anymore. All I know is the version that I saw when I was a white knight. And the one I saw as a white knight is A through Z in the alphabet, which is 26. There were 26 protocols to NESRA that fix this country. Now, the powers that be behind the scenes that we don't know who they are, if they've changed it, modified it, I don't know. I don't think anybody really knows. You know, that Yahoo up there in Canada, that Dr. whoever, he comes out and says, well, no, they're 31 now. How would he know? You know, he's a doctor. He's not part of any interior group that would know.
Right.
I don't know.
So going back to your notes, what else do you have on there that you wanted to talk about?
Well, the other thing that I think people are missing is whoever Trump in a mask is right now, he's got Jerome Powell out in center, front and center now. A lot of people don't realize that Jerome Powell ran that TRB scam that was, what, 4, 5, 6 years ago on Facebook, I guess it was. But he ran the TRB scam under Trump's name. Now, they lead us to believe that Trump's been back in office since getting reelected. Why has he not shown the public that he knows about Jerome Powell running that scam under Trump's name and corrected it and made it right and made it public? Why has he not done that? That's what dumbfounds me. But
Now, when
I
you
go
say
back to
TRB scam, for those that don't know what that is, would you explain what that is?
TRB scam was that deal during Trump's first term that they set up to be from Donald Trump. if you bought the certain
Coins
uh,
or dollars.
coins, dollars, currencies, that it was going to materialize once the RV hit and once Nesra hit, and you could turn in for the value of whatever you purchased. And millions of people got scammed in that deal. But the guy who ran it, and we didn't know for the longest time, but it was uncovered that it was Jerome Powell.
Wow.
And he still got that clown, front and center. I think he's doing the same thing. That's what he does with these people who he wants to expose. That's why I think he put Vance VP. That Vance deal doesn't make sense to me either. He came out early on and he was anti-Trump about everything. And next we see him as a VP. Are we looking at Vance 2.0 or the original Vance? I think we're looking at 2.0.
Oh, another thing you mentioned, and I know you spoke about this last time, is you believe Trump, whoever is Trump, is in a mask, that it's not the actual Donald Trump that we're seeing.
Yeah, because if people look close, there's been, 10 to 12 different Trumps in the last 6, 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we've had the original one. I don't even think the original one was standing at the podium when he had all the military JAG officers walk behind him, and then they all turned around and left. I mean, we don't know. All these Trump fakes, due to height, weight, look, hairstyles, who knows? There's got to be 10 to 12 up to this point that we've seen. I don't think we've seen the real, if the real is even alive. Now, is the general's son here? What, -48 and that bunch we're pushing? My inside people say yes. General Patton's kid, yeah, he's still here. Now, is he supposed to be Donald Trump? That's what they lead us to believe. But have we seen him? Who knows? It's a shit show.
It is. It is. Now, Trump is speaking tonight, and everybody is hoping it's a nothing burger where, so many of these things we think it's going to be something monumental. It winds up being a nothing burger. But a lot of people are saying it's supposed to be pretty monumental. Any insight on any of that?
Well, yeah, I think you nailed it right on the head. We've heard so much of this shit over the past 8 years. He's going to talk and it ends up being a nothing burger. It's just part of this shit show that has to end. It's doing more harm. This thing keeps going. It's got to end, because I think once people get full disclosure on what they've had to live through and witness for the last 10 years, they're going to be so fucking pissed off. You're not going to have peace out there. That's why the shit show should have ended 4 years ago when the opportunity presented itself, because Biden was never president, people. He was executed at Gitmo. So basically, we have two people who are not around acting as the president of the United States. It was never Biden. Biden didn't make it. He had fake inaugurations out in California. And Trump, I don't think we've seen Trump in office. So once people find out all this stuff, and then the question is, are they, quote, white hats or whoever's controlling this shit show, are they going to come out with the truth in disclosure? Because if they come out in the truth and all this stuff is brought to the attention of the American people, there's going to be some pissed off people, having to live through a fake COVID crap, having to live through fake presidencies for the last 8 years. Unbelievable. So, yeah, forced wake up is needed. People need to wake up. And
So,
these damn med beds, where in the hell are they? People need healed in this country. I am witnessing people die that I don't even know, and I don't think they needed to die because their sicknesses or injuries were not bad. There's a hospital in this area, and it has a reputation. If you want to die, you go to this hospital.
that's terrible.
I mean, the med bed's got to come out. I mean, my God, what are they waiting for? You know, I brought this up in the last one, 2019. Trump came out and said, May of 2019, oh, within the year, we're not going to need hospitals anymore because we're going to have the med beds. Well, where are they? God,
Exactly.
I'm sick of asking where these things are. People are making this too complicated. Just get the things built, get them into these bad hospitals. Like, if you want to die, go to this hospital. Take over that hospital, fire everybody who works there, and get some competent, honest people who want to heal people and stop sickness in a med bed. Get them all trained. Let's get this process going. My God, last week I saw 6 people die that didn't need to die. It just breaks my heart.
Yeah. So what do your inner circle say about all of this? You know, when is this shit show going to end? When is all of this disclosure in EBS going to happen? I mean, why is it still being prolonged after so long?
Well, now for the first time in years, they're all starting to talk and see what I'm talking about, understand what I'm talking about, and they're all pissed off. Why is it still going?
Right.
Why is the shit show still going? Well, we finally see what you've been talking about all this time. You know, it, and then I go and I make the comment to them. I said, why do we have to still look at Macron's, I'm not going to say wife because she's not female, it's a male. The blonde who always used to stand next to Trump during the first term. It's like, why didn't the white hats come out and expose that person then? We've almost gone 10 years and no one's exposed her. Well, she's not female. It's an it. It's a man. And who is she really? She's a Rothschild. And everybody know that name? It's one of the most evil, demonic names destroying America. Rockefeller, Rothschild. You know, you got Clintons who are part of the Rockefellers. And now you got this person. Why are they still around? Why have not we taken them out? You know?
Well, we have been told they've all been replaced, and we are watching actors with all these people.
Yeah, well, you know what? We've heard it for almost 10 years now. End this shit, end the shit show, and show the people in these documentaries what you're talking about, because nobody out here is believing it. You know, and I'm tired of getting pissed off by noticing all this shit, and it's still there.
Right.
You know, make public announcements. You know, it's like this Trump, whatever he's going to talk about. Who knows? I'm not going to watch it. I'll wait for the movie. You know, or is it the hard copy? I don't know.
So, what else do you have on your notes?
Well, you know, we're told that the military's running things behind the scene. We've been told that all the bad judges, all the bad attorneys, all the bad cops, they're all getting round up and they're going to jail. They're going to Gitmo. They're going here. Well, when's that going to happen? And how's it going to happen? Because where I'm at, I'm doing reports on bad cops all the time because I see it. I watch it. I monitor it. I mean, it is ridiculous, especially with PD cops, because the majority of them are damn Freemasons, and we know that they're another entity connected to the Illuminati in this country who are not patriots, and they want to drag this country down and make it a third world country. You know, you go back to the Simpsons show. A lot of people don't know this. That stupid cartoon show on TV. Well, the guy who runs all the cartoons on that program is a Freemason,
Yeah.
and he's connected to the Illuminati. That we've been told they give us pre-programming. What's going to happen in the future? Well, along with that, Q back in the day told us when you see stuff like that, we acquiesce if we don't say anything. It's kind of like what I've said in the last show. People need to start calling this a shit show. If you don't, you acquiesce to the people running the shit show that you're okay with watching this stupid clusterfuck in front of you. You need to start calling it a shit show. Then they'll get the hint.
Okay, so you've been doing that and you've been calling them out, and we're still here.
Well, I can't be the only one doing it, Holly. You know, it's I
So,
can do what I can do.
so, okay, everybody that's watching this starts saying it's a shit show, and what is that going to do? Who are they
Well, it
telling
lets
it's a shit show to make a change?
well we don't know who's really running the shit show, do we?
No, we
I
don't.
mean, I have my suspicions who it is. Like I said, go in my opening statement. We're looking at two different movies here. We're living through two different movies. Now, who's right and who's wrong? Well, I say that the Ghost Ezra Negative 48 movie that we're watching, where we need the Trump that's out there now to be taken off the board due to a 187 scenario in brackets. And if people don't know what 187 in brackets means, that refers to death, murder. Does he need to be taken off the board in their movie for this thing to be over? We don't know. The other side of the movie is the Trump that we see is real and, quote, a white hat. And he's got a way that this shit show ends. We just don't know at this point. But I think the important thing is no matter which side of this movie's right or wrong, we need the EBS. We need the 10 Days of Darkness to kick off RV, kick off public announcement of Nessera. Because it has to happen. There's too many people, millions of people in this country whose lives are stuck in neutral. They can't even afford health care because nothing is out there available as far as their funds. They're getting all taxed to death, and I hear Trump talking about this 2000 payment going to go out to everyone. Well, how's that going to work? Who got the 3 stimulus checks during that fake Biden administration? I know I didn't.
I did
And
not.
those were well over 2,000. So, I mean, it's just, we got to stop kicking the fucking can down the road. Someone needs to do something and get this thing kicked into overdrive. I'm so sick of hearing that the Galactics are involved and they're going to fly down in their freaking space ships and kick everyone's ass and stop the shit show. and make everything right. It's like, my God, that's part of movie one. I don't know. Uh, and another thing, these Social Security payments that I brought up in the last one, I'm not talking about that measly 2% cost of living increase bullshit, people. I'm talking about the one that's out there that's supposed to double or triple the amount you get now for these senior citizens who can't afford to get health care, put food on the table, to do anything because due to the high cost of living in this shit show that we're at now. I mean, they say gasoline's going down, but I don't see it. Um, so I'm not talking about a 2% cost of living increase for the knuckleheads who brought that up last time. I'm talking about the one that doubles or triples. We've been waiting on that. We've been hearing about that for the seniors for almost a year and a half now. So,
Yeah, I agree
and
with you.
while
Go ahead.
I'm at it, I'm gonna bring this up. I am so sick and tired of watching all these libtards on social media whine and cry over a comment from the Trump in a mask about Rob Rainier. It's like, I read the comment. What's there to be pissed off about, people? It's just that who made the comment, that's why you're mad? Rob Rainier is a flaming libtard. He was when he was making the All in the Family show with Archie Bunker. He's never changed, you know? So come on, people.
Yes, there is so much that's going on, and it is it's almost like recycled information. We keep hearing this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, and nothing happens that we keep hearing about.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I know. I want JFK Jr. to reveal himself that he's not dead. That whole fake plane crash in '99 was all bullshit. Because I'm sick and tired of all these people throwing Quigley out there, this Quigley character, like he's the real JFK. Oh my God, it just never ends. And he's another one that's got fakes out there. Man, there's about 6 junior fakes out there now.
Right.
God, it's sickening. I'm just one of these guys. I hate bullshit. I don't deal in bullshit. And this is all, the shit show's just bullshit. You know, if people don't see it, and I doesn't look like a lot of people do, they're all falling for the Quigley guy as junior. Oh my God. He won't even supply a blood test so they can do correct DNA. It's like, oh my God. So
You know what? There is so much fake and corruption out there, and it's very hard. It's like navigating through a line man of reality each and every day, trying to figure out how do I get through this to the end when we want this over? Because every day there's
I know it.
new shit
I
broken.
know it. I know it. I'm telling myself, man, when I can get into a med bed, I want to get into a med bed and have them wipe my mind all of this whole shit show. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. And we've heard through the back channels, oh, we took 90 years to come up with this fucking plan. If this is the best you came up with, don't ever plan anything again because the optics of this suck. I mean, you drive healthy mental people insane due to this shit.
Mhm.
But you're more worried about the fucking woke.
Yeah.
Jesus. Anyway,
So what positive do
I
you have for everybody?
What's that?
What positive do you have for everybody?
What positives I have is same as last time. I know this shit's going to pop, but we don't know who controls or what controls someone flipping the damn switch. I mean, someone in their inner circle needs to have a come to Jesus talk with them and say, look, don't rely on the stupid computer to tell you when it's time to flip the switch. Flip the damn switch. It's needed out there. Hell, if I can see it in my segmented location, they should be able to see it. I mean, it's going to happen. You know, I don't care if they change the Nessera name or not. It's going to happen. You know,
Seems maybe that there is a fear factor of, I mean, right now they can control us. So when we are not under such control, do you think it's because they're afraid of us being our own independent sovereign beings where they can't control us? So it's a whole new Wild West that we're going to be stepping into that they don't quite know how to handle us. You think maybe that's a
well,
factor?
I think, Holly, if you take that approach to it, then that would indicate that the guys running the shit show are black hats.
Mm.
A white hat shouldn't think that. That's what really irritates me. The white hats have not made a clear distinction between them and a black hat.
Mhm.
It's like it's like all they want to do is kick the can down the road.
Right.
Someone needs to step up and show that you guys put us through this shit show for 10 years and it's about to come to an end. And all we've been waiting for, well, me in my situation, I've been waiting for that since '09, the RV end of it. I've been waiting for Nessera for 38 years. So, and I had to live through 9/11. Hell, I was underneath DIA in a gun battle for 8 hours on 9/11 because we all were under the understanding that Nessera was coming out that day.
It was supposed to.
And
That's why they went and blew up the World Trade Center.
they took down both towers because world banking computers were on floors 1 and 2 in both buildings. But
Right.
you know,
And took out the command center at the Pentagon.
yeah. Well, the command center for 9/11 was Building 7. They took out the Pentagon because the White Knights had a section set up inside the Pentagon that we were trying to get Nessera out to the public, and they sent a missile through the damn Pentagon to kill White Knights, which they did. That was not a plane, folks. Don't let anybody tell you it was a plane.
Right.
Because there were no 14-foot titanium rotors ever found at that site, and they did not disintegrate.
Yeah.
Just like, Holly, just like disclosure about the towers on 9/11.
Right.
The people need to be told the truth about what really happened because planes did not fly into those buildings.
No.
That was an interior demolition.
Right.
And who was in the building before? It was the Israeli Mossad. They were setting the charges inside the building.
Wow.
And I keep going back to Mossad, CIA, Mossad, CIA, Israel connection. I swear, I hear people supporting Israel. I'm saying, well, what a dumb shit. If you really knew, you just listening to fake news. Oh, we got to support Israel. No, we don't. Because it's not the same. It's not the same biblical Israel.
Right.
It's just not. Israel is Mossad. And that clown Netanyahu why in the hell Trump even is seen in a photograph with that Mossad piece of crap, I'll never know. I don't know. I don't operate like that. I do not want a picture taken with my arch enemy. It's like I'm part of him now, and I've never been a black hat.
Right.
So
So do you
I
have
don't know.
anything else on your notes you want to share?
No, I think I've covered all of it. If you're a praying person out there, you need to pray for the people who are control of the shit show, because it's way past due. We need it. We need to heal this country from within. And these liberals are not going to get healed. They're not going to wake up unless we do a full disclosure 10 days of darkness, EBS, lock this bitch down and start playing those documentaries. Even then, a majority of these liberals are not going to wake up. They're going to refuse to watch and hear the truth. Why? Because the shit show's gone way too long. They lost their opportunity. So now you're going to have to play catch up shit show.
So being you are the voice out there, and I have a large audience, and I know a lot of people do watch my shows that are involved in certain aspects of all of this. I'm going to use your
Mm-hmm.
voice to make a plea for them to listen, that the American people, the world people, because it's not just about America, it's about the whole world, is tired of suffering, and we're awake. We've been awake. Why do we have to wait for those to wake up? If they're not awake now, you know what? Not our problem. We can't just keep holding up humanity and the world to wake up a 1 or 2% that are still asleep. It's time to move on and start healing, like you said.
Yes, yes, it is. This thing has gone too long. You're going to have to use the med beds now. And if people get through a med bed and they still got mental issues, if we have to start building mental hospitals again to put them in till they get better, let's do it. But we cannot keep dragging this thing out, waiting on these liberals to wake the fuck up. We're way past that. You're now hurting patriots.
Right.
Now everybody's doubting everything now, and it shouldn't be this way. And this is a 90-year plan.
Right.
God help us. God help us. The optics of this suck. So do yourself a favor. Whoever's running the shit show, take a look outside. Go on the internet and look at all the damn videos out there, or all these corrupt cops breaking every law out there, violating civil rights. I mean, it's disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
And I made a comment last week. I said, if I ever see Trump say, "Oh, I love these cops," someone should bitch slap him for saying that. These guys aren't good. They're not law enforcement. And I said that to a PD cop last week, and he had no clue what I was talking to. I said, you're not law enforcement. I said, yes, I am. I said, no, you're not. You follow UCC codes and statutes and policy. That's why you write tickets. That's not law enforcement. That's code enforcement. Big difference.
Right.
And that just blew his mind. No, I'm law enforcement. No, you're not. UCC has already been deemed by the Supreme Court that code, statutes, and policy are not law. How much more clear, white and black, do you have to get about that? You write a ticket, that's not law. That's code under UCC, Universal Commercial Code. And that's what traffic courts are set up under, UCC. It's not law. So you're not a law enforcement officer. The
Again,
only thing that comes close, is a CSPOA sheriff. And if they're not CSPOA, you got a 50-50 chance the guy's just like a PD cop.
and
Corrupt.
for those that don't know, what is CSPOA?
CSPOA, it's an outfit out there, Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association. They don't write the stupid ticket because they know it's illegal. It's unlawful.
Well,
Now,
it's a money-making grab.
Yeah. They follow the Constitution. It's not constitutional to be associated with UCC codes, policies, and statutes like these PD Freemason piece of shit cops do. So, and I had to put him in a report too. So it's just a joke out there.
Any final words you want to tell the audience or anybody listening?
Keep your heads up. Don't quit the fight. Whoever's running the shit show will come to their senses hopefully sooner than later, but this country needs to heal. It's going backwards. I don't care what the fake Trump says in front of a camera or a microphone. We're not getting better. You know, we need to go out and do the things we got to do to get this country back to where it needs to be. And it's not going to happen unless we EBS 10 days of darkness and lock the bits down and have a public announcement. And it should be from whoever's acting as president that Nesser is out, and roll out the RV so people can go get healed. It's the only way you're going to fix this country. The longer it drags out, the more problems you're going to have, the more pissed off people you're going to have because you've let it go too long. And anybody who's in the inner circle of running the shit show have a problem with what I've said, come see me face to face and we'll sit down and talk about it. But you will not convince me what you're doing now is for the betterment of the United States of America.
You know what? Just rip the Band-Aid off and let's move on.
Yeah, rip it off.
Yeah.
Rip it off. I'm tired of having to go out there and be vocal because I'm not a podcaster. You invited me on years ago to talk about this thing called Nessera, and I did. And it's morphed into something a little bit more. I'm not that person, people. You got other people in this country who could do what I'm doing, but they're not doing it because I don't see it whenever I scroll on the interweb of people trying to wake people up like I've been doing. But anyway, keep your heads up. Don't let your daubers down. I know there's probably some idiot's going to comment, "Oh, he was so terrible to listen to." You know, I'm not your happy feel good people. I'm giving you both barrels, whether you like it or not, because I see things you guys don't. Just like noticing about Erica Kirk and Candace. Do we really have the same Candace, or did they get to her and they convinced her to back the truck up and roll a 360? That's yet to be seen.
Right.
But there's indication out there that they got to her. They must have showed her death certificate. I don't know. What that tells me is, are the white hats really in control? Are they in control of this shit show? So anybody who dies that didn't need to die, is it on the white hats? Or do they take responsibility for it? If these damn med beds are out there, Huh? Are they going to take full responsibility? This shit doesn't need to keep going on. We're trying to reinvent science here. It's simple. Roll the thing out. If QFS isn't what they have cracked it up to be, we don't have to worry about bad guys out there anymore. QFS is supposed to be unhackable, uncorruptible, da 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 da. So why do we keep playing this fucking game of kicking the can down the road? It's stupid.
Yeah.
And I would really enjoy the internal people in this shit show to actually come talk to me face to face. I really would like that to happen, because they're not going to convince me that what we've gone through for 10 years, being subjected to fucking dead presidents, acting as a president, and all these fakes and all these false flags out there, all these fake shootings, all these Democrats with guns killing people, just like that guy in Australia at Bondi Beach. Why hasn't anybody asked Bondi about her connection with Cobra? That just dumbfounds me. No one's asked her about her connection with Cobra. Who is Cobra? A child trafficking hotshot who's well known in child trafficking. And that poor guy down there in the blue shirt, he grabbed the gun from the shooter, pointed it at him, and didn't pull the damn trigger. What happens to him? He ends up with bullet holes in him, and he's in the hospital. Well, karma got you, buddy. You take a gun away from a shooter, a terrorist, shoot him. God damn, those people down there. That's why they don't have any guns in their society, because they're all idiots. You take a gun away from a damn terrorist, shoot them. You don't point it at them and not shoot them. God damn, it just blows my mind having to live through this shit show. It's like, what the fuck? But I don't.
Well,
go ahead, Ollie. I think I've done enough positive.
well, I'm sure people, like I said in the beginning, they're either going to love you or they hate you. Either they like your bluntness and they like you just saying what everybody thinks and feels, or they feel you're negative and hurting the movement because you're a Debbie Downer. But you know what? Whatever it is, at the end of the day, it's time to end this. Enough is enough. Rip the Band-Aid off and
Yes.
let it happen, and then do the cleanup of the carnage. But you can't keep
Yeah.
trying to coddle everybody and dance around it and make everything perfect. There is not going to be perfect because this has never been done before. So just do it and then we'll deal with the consequences.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. The only people hurting the movement now are the people who are in charge, or the white hats in charge, so-called white hats in charge of the shit show. They're the only one hurting the movement now. These guys like me are fed up or sick and tired of being sick and tired, and we are vocal about it because it did not need to go this long. You don't have to reinvent the wheel to get this stuff rolled out, especially if QFS is in place.
Right.
It's that simple. You be pissed off at me all you want. I don't give a fuck.
All right. Well, why don't we end it here, Mr. X? And thank you for being on. I appreciate your bluntness, and let's see if this will shake some people up that listen to this, that hear you, and hear you're speaking on behalf of all the people that are so sick and tired of this being dragged out.
Yeah, well, let's hope, Holly, because they better not expect me to come back on the show and be a fucking car salesman, tell you what you want to hear.
Right.
Oh my God. Let's go.
Yes, I agree. All right. Well, thank you. And bye, everybody.
All right. Thanks, Holly.